Lena had already put her shoes on. Her friends were waiting. The group chat was active. Everyone was going. She even wanted to go. And then, she canceled. Again. Not because she was tired, not because she was sick, not because she didn't like them. The strange part? The moment she sent the message, she felt relief. The kind that makes your shoulders drop. The kind that feels like finally being able to breathe. And that raised a question she couldn't answer. Why does being alone feel safer than being with people I actually like? Most people assume that people who enjoy being alone are shy, or antisocial, or bad with people. But that wasn't Lena. She could hold conversations, make friends, show up when she needed to. In fact, most people would describe her as warm, which made the pattern even stranger, because the older she got, the more solitude started feeling like home. And the answer to why that happens often starts much earlier than people realize. They learn to handle things alone. Picture an 8-year-old girl sitting on the edge of her bed. Something happened at school. Nothing dramatic, just one of those moments that hurts more than it should. A friend ignored her. Someone made a joke at her expense. Something small, but important. She thinks about telling someone, then doesn't. Because deep down, she already believes she'll have to figure it out herself. So she sits and thinks and processes, alone. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. Eventually, something changes. Being alone stops feeling temporary. It starts feeling reliable. And reliability is powerful when you're a child. Quiet became the safest place. For some children, the safest room in the house isn't the living room. It's their bedroom. Door closed, noise outside, silence inside. Maybe nobody was yelling at them. Maybe nobody was hurting them. But there was tension, unpredictability, the feeling that you never quite knew what version of people you were going to get. So they learned something, not consciously, just naturally. The quiet places felt safer. And years later, those same people become adults who feel their entire body relax the moment they're finally alone. Not because they hate people, because peace became familiar. But those first two experiences only explain part of it, because some people don't just learn to be alone, they learn to love it. And that's where things get interesting. They built a world inside their head. Some children spend a lot of time by themselves, but they're never really bored because their mind is busy. They imagine conversations, create stories, build entire worlds nobody else can see. While other kids need constant stimulation, they learn how to generate it internally, and that's a skill that often follows them into adulthood. Because if your inner world is rich enough, solitude never feels empty. It feels occupied. The outside world becomes optional, not essential. They became observers. There's usually one child in every group who notices everything. Not the loudest, not the most popular. The observer. The one quietly watching. They notice who interrupts people, who changes when certain people enter the room, who means what they say, and who doesn't. Most people are participating. They're studying. Over time, this creates something unexpected, a deep understanding of people, but also exhaustion. Because when you're constantly reading the room, social interaction becomes work, and solitude becomes recovery. But none of these experiences explain the most important part. The moment Lena finally realized there wasn't something wrong with her. That moment came much later, and it changed everything. The realization. Lena was 30 when it happened. One Friday evening, she canceled plans. Again. And after sending the message, she sat quietly on her couch. No guilt, no loneliness, no regret, just relief. And for the first time, she stopped asking, why am I like this? And started asking, what if this isn't a flaw? Because there is a difference between hiding from people and recovering from them. A difference between isolation and solitude. One drains you, the other restores you. And once she understood that difference, years of self-judgment started making sense. The truth is, not everyone who prefers being alone had a difficult childhood, and not everyone who enjoys solitude is protecting themselves from something. But many people learn very early that quiet feels safe, that independence feels reliable, that their own company feels predictable in a world that sometimes wasn't. And those lessons tend to stay with us, long after childhood ends. So if you're someone who occasionally cancels plans, who needs space after socializing, who feels more peaceful alone than most people seem to understand, that doesn't automatically mean something is wrong with you. It might simply mean you've spent a lifetime learning how to find safety in places other people never learned to look. I'm curious, which part of this felt most familiar? Was it learning to handle things alone? Finding comfort in quiet? Building an inner world? Or becoming the observer? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy stories that help make sense of human behavior, subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one.